if you just know you're that girl,
Yep.
you just have no choice but to be that girl. And I feel like I'm that girl.
What's good, y'all? It's your girl Clarissa Lachey, aka Unapologetic Shade. Welcome to my YouTube channel, baby. So what's good, y'all? In this video, I'm going to be sharing some solo traveling tips, especially for my people who have a hard time getting out there, my introverts, or just people who feel more reserved or are more concerned for safety, at least when it comes to solo traveling. And so I want to start off with encouraging you to get comfortable, at least going out in your own community, in your own areas. And if that's like for the first time going to the movies by yourself, or going and going to a show or an event, a concert, something like that by yourself. If you're gonna do something like that, of course I encourage you to limit your drug use and alcohol intake, because you want to be more mindful of your surroundings. But yeah, go to a bar by yourself. So those are things that I would encourage you to do to kind of get comfortable exploring out and doing things on your own, because when you're solo traveling, you kind of have to do all those things anyways. And so plan events, schedule a whole day and hit 3 or 4 things to do in your city. Or if you live in a smaller town, go to a city near you that you would like to explore. Everyone always says, oh, I'm from here, so already, there's nothing really for me to explore. But a lot of times when you live in a big city or even a smaller city, there's some things that you actually haven't done. So look online and see some hidden gems, or find some hidden gems. Especially TikTok now, they share things that people can do in their own communities or towns that most people never even heard of, because they never really went out there. And so that's what I would encourage you to do, to just get yourself started. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into these tips. If you're going to be solo traveling to a new location, or even a previous location that you went to but you never really did anything, or you never really did as much as you would like, I would definitely start off with encourage you to do your research. You want to research your location, you want to research the different areas, the culture of that location that you're going to. What are some things, what are their traditions, what are things that they naturally do? And then of course, from there, you're gonna also derive a plan of places that you would like to go and all of that good stuff. So first off, do your research. Also do your research if you're a woman and you're solo traveling, for instance, to a new country. You want to make sure that it is solo travel friendly for women. That's what I did when I went on my solo trip to Costa Rica. I wanted to make sure, like, okay, is this something that most women do? Join Facebook groups and get information from there. I joined a couple Costa Rican expats for Black people, or just solo traveling groups in general, and I got information from the groups, from people that they shared. I didn't even have to ask many questions. I just went into the search bar and looked up things to do, or I just looked up the title of the location I wanted to, just to get a feel, especially people who shared what their experience like once they went there. It kind of gave me something what to expect when I got there, which really helped me throughout my process. Also, check the weather, because a lot of times if you're planning in the summertime and you're wanting to wear your summer clothes at a location, but you're not expecting it to be really rainy, you don't want to only pack for summer weather and then you get there and you're limited to certain things. When I went to Orlando, I went to Disney World and it rained the whole time, so I ended up ruining my white pair of shoes. I wouldn't say ruin, I can just clean them and rewear them, but the outfit that I wear was not weather friendly, and so that was something that I should have been more mindful of when I went and planned out my day. The rest of the days were super sunny, so had I just looked at the weather of that week, I would have been really good, and I would have avoided, ruining my clothes, or at least dressing more appropriately, or even changing the day that I was going to go to Disney World. So up next, plan. Plan. Get you a schedule. If you're going somewhere for 3 days and you want to do a lot of things at once, choose 20 things, choose 12 things, 10 things, and mark out and prioritize the importance of the things that you actually want to do, because the reality is, a lot of times we might not have enough time to do everything. It's really good to, if you do have that time, to travel for weeks at a time, or a week or so. That gives you more time to explore. But if you're traveling for a short trip, pick out some things that you really want to do, and then look at how long it takes to get through that event. Like, let's say you want to go to a museum. It usually takes about 4 hours, depending on the museum, to get through it. What would you like to do after that? Would you want to go try a nice restaurant, or is there somewhere else that you like to go, like a nearby, national park or something, depending on the area that you're traveling to? You want to plan out your day specifically. Literally plan out what restaurant you want to try. If your hotel comes with breakfast and you want to just eat the breakfast, okay, eat your breakfast, and then plan out your first event, and track and compare the amount of time it's going to take you to do each event, to see if you really want to invest your time in doing that. Please plan, organize your trip. That's how you're gonna get the best out of your experience. If you come prepared and you're ready to, go out and do things, you won't feel like you're pressed or crunched for time. Like usually when people feel that way when they're traveling with groups, and one person want to do this, two other people want to do that, and it's just like you're all trying to scrunch all that time in, and the reality is you're not really tracking how much time it's going to take to do each event, and so someone may not be able to do something that they really want to do. You eliminate that when you solo travel, but you also plan accordingly. So in your planning process, a really big thing to factor in if you're going on a 3-day trip is to look at the flights for that day, because if you want to do things on that first day that you get there, you probably want to try to book a flight that's early. Now if there's not a flight that is early and it's an afternoon or evening flight, then that lets you know what you will have time for once you get there. Okay, also look at the location that is around the hotel, because there might be some things that you can do while you're on your downtime where you just don't really know what you want to do at that time, or if you just want to relax and hey, there's a botanical gardens that you want to explore, or there's a hot springs that you would like to venture out to, whatever is around that area. I know I'm just thinking of my previous trip, so that's why I'm dropping these random ideas or things to do. But you always want to be over prepared than under prepared, and so that can also save you some time when you're trying to weigh out your options and decide what do you really want to do. Do you really have enough time for that? So yeah, look around, check the prices, factor all that into, and then also the proximity. How far is it from the airport? How far is it from all the things that you actually want to do? Because that's something else you will need to track and plan for when you're traveling out to each event and location, especially if you have multiple things in a day that you want to do. If you're traveling somewhere and you know that you're traveling around a popular time where there's events, try to get those tickets in advance. You would hate to get there and then try to book it while you're there and it's already sold out, and that's something that you already have on your list. So excursions, events, if you can, prepay for those. And now once you're there, my best advice for you is to walk with confidence. Be assured of yourself, because when you walk with confidence, people respect that, they take notice to that. And a lot of times if you perceive to be confident and that's what you're exemplifying, you might not be as big of a target as you may think you are. If you're walking, you're feeling very self-conscious and you're like overtly looking around and being super hyper vigilant and aware of your surroundings, you could cause more attention than you want, and people might be like, okay, yeah, she's already uncomfortable, let's really do something and get her out of her body, right? So you want to avoid that. Try to walk with confidence, be assured of yourself, live in delusion and be like, yeah, I'm that bitch, that's me, okay? But yeah, just have that assertiveness where you are sure of what's going on. That's why it's important to do your research before you go, so that way you do feel a lot more confident. Also, when you're there, be open to starting and initiating conversations, because like I said, that's going to be one thing to help you build up your confidence. But when you're talking to locals, they might put you onto new events that you might want to try out while you're there, and that will really enhance your trip. So yeah, those are my trips for solo traveling. Again, I will be traveling a lot in this month of March, and so I wanted to go ahead and post this video out just to encourage anyone who's willing and ready to take that risk and go and enjoy the luxury of life and exploring. And so yeah, stay tuned for my next week video. I don't know what I'm posting next week, but I'm gonna be posting something, so stay tuned. Okay, any questions you have, you can leave it in the comment section below. Again, you can like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Okay, so yeah, it's your girl Clarissa Lachey, aka Unapologetic Shay. Baby.